Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today with Nathan, and today we're going to be reviewing The Girl on the Third Floor, which was released in 2019, and it's the first starring role of CM Punk, aka Phil Brooks. There goes Nathan like he does every week, singing cult personality. But yeah, Nathan, what did you think about this film? Like, to be honest, I thought it was actually pretty decent. It was kind of low budget, but it was good.
To be fair, seeing the trailers, I thought, oh, it's just going to be a horror film. They just wanted to throw the name Phil Brooks in a film, but I thought it was really good, actually. Like, I'm not going to say it was a modern day classic. Make sure your grandma sees this film. It's that good, but it was good. It was much better than I expected.
Same. I was kind of surprised by it. But like I said, it's low budget, so we've got basically two locations. Like, we've got the main house and then like where his wife stays, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Even then, one of them is just through like a phone screen, so.
Oh yeah, true. We barely even see that location. So yeah, we'll start off with the story, I guess, which is obviously the main element. We got Don, like we mentioned. CM Punk's playing the guy named Don, and he moves into this new house. He's trying to like renovate it because his wife's living back home with. She's pregnant. Oh, she's heavily pregnant.
Like, again, the 6 to 7 months, I would say.
Basically, yeah. So he's renovating this house, and people come. Well, I say people. There's a church across the street, and so the preacher comes round, doesn't she, with a bottle of whiskey or something. She's like, "Oh yeah, let's talk" or something like that. And he gets warnings throughout, like even from the bar guy as well. Like straight men don't have
Time.
they don't got time inside this house, basically.
To be fair, it sounds dumb because we just said he gets warnings out of thing, but you listen thinking, oh, this is just them setting up like superstition. But no, if you literally pay attention, it's like, no, he's dumb for not paying attention to it. Because they straight up say it. They're not like, yeah, it's a bit rough. He says, no, you will. Not you may, you will have a bad time.
Because they mention like a lot of people have been in. He's not the first guy inside the house. There's been other families.
I don't think they say how many families, but they say there has been a few. So you're reckoning at like 7 families, maybe upwards.
True. Which we find out later on, the house used to be a brothel house in the early 1900s. Because you get when did he first find out? He finds out like the upstairs, doesn't he, with like the viewing balcony and shit like that.
Yeah. When his roof falls at the top, he sees like this balcony, like a watch post. Would you say?
Yeah,
watch post. The bedroom, and then like he does like a bit of review on it. It's like, oh, this house used to have a past, you know.
So we also got Sarah, who's like a mysterious flirty girl who just shows up. Is that the first night he's there, or he's basically there?
I want to say the second night.
Yeah, the second night. She's just inside his back garden, like just chilling, and he invites her in. Yeah, playing with the dog. And he invites her in with a beer. And then this is where we get the first element of Don CM Punk's not a good guy inside this film.
Without hesitation, she kisses him, and he doesn't go, I'm a married man, I've got a kid on the way, listen, I'm sorry you feel like, no, it's like, no, I'm in on this, let's go. I'm about to cheat on my wife. And he even comes across as arsehole, because on the next morning after he lets her out, the dog gives him a look and he goes, I've earned this. What? You ain't earned
this from what? Exactly, what have you done? You've got holes around the house.
You changed the light switch, yeah, let me just cheat on my wife. Woo. CM Punk. My God.
But yeah, this house, like we said, it's used to be a brothel house, and shit starts happening. Like, there's a lot of semen. Let's be politically correct.
You want semen? You want to explain it?
Basically, wherever there's holes inside the wall, semen is gonna come out of there.
We made the joke at the start, like, haha, semen. No, it was actual.
Yeah, because when he first comes in, he finds the puddle, doesn't he, like on the floor. I'm like,
I forgot about how much there is of it. Oh god.
And we were like, is that cum? And then eventually, it's definitely cum. It's definitely cum.
So much.
So eventually his mate comes round on the weekend, Milo, to help him out with like renovating and stuff. Because his wife keeps asking like, oh, do you need help with this? He's like, no, I've got it. But
Milo was such a good guy as well. Like, he came across as a guy. Like, a guy who wants
true. Like, he finds out about Dan, I was going to call him Punk, Dan and Sarah's, little fling or whatever you want to call it. And Dan's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. And he's like, what did he say? Like, oh, you got a problem with it? Don't be here when I come back. That's what he says then. So then Dan goes to walk the dog, which takes fucking hours because when he comes back, it's night time.
That must have been a 7-hour walk. That dog is the healthiest pooch ever.
So he comes back and Milo's gone. So he texts him like wondering like, oh, if he's pissed off or something, and he gets a reply straight away, which is your first like instinct like, oh shit, wait a minute.
Are we going to talk about what happened to Milo?
Oh yeah. So we see Sarah. Wait, no, I'm thinking about the dog. We got to talk about the dog first, David.
Okay.
Holy shit.
This dog is such a good dog. It makes plays. This dog is up there with dogs on screen. It is such a good boy.
Yeah, even like you said before, when he's looking at Punk, like, oh, Dan, like, guilty after he fucks the girl. He's just looking at him.
Like, what'd you do, bro?
But yeah, Sarah lures the dog downstairs. She's like, oh, hello, handsome. And that's the last time we see him. And then Dan comes home. Oh, yeah, not the last time. But last time we see him alive, I should say.
Yeah.
So Dan comes home and he starts hearing the, is it a
dryer? It's
the dryer, yeah. He hears that, like, something thudding inside, so he slowly walks. I've got to admit, Punk's acting was good here when he's, like, you know, crouched down and he's, like,
he's praying. It's the thought you'd be thinking. Like, most people are like, oh, why would the dog be? But he's like, no, this is a weird house. Weird things have been happening. This could be the worst. And it's his reaction to it is how I think every dog owner, dog lover would react. Because he's sick instantly. The idea that his dog is gone.
So he opens the dryer up and, like I said, the dog is dead and it's just fucking rolling about in there. And Punk's be sick, which, you know, genuine reaction there. Like you said, any dog fucking owner would be like that. Yeah. So of course he figures out the only person who's been here is Sarah. Yeah. So, and she just appears, doesn't she? She just appears inside the house. She don't walk in.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah, she's there. We'll get into that in a minute. Yeah.
This is the one bit though. Like, as much as I thought, Dan is an asshole for like cheating on his wife. The next bit that happens once he finds his dog fully puts me back on his side. Because he lures her in.
Oh yeah, true. He lures her in. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about before. I shouldn't have, like, you know, kicked her out after, you know, the little fling."
And then he ices.
Yeah, she like just walks in like at first, like the first time viewing, you're like, "Oh, she's been kind of dumb here," but you know, we find out eventually. But yeah, he smacks her over the head, doesn't he? What does he hit her with? No, I forgot.
It's a hammer. It's a lump hammer.
Oh yeah, he hits her in the back of the head as she goes down. So he covers her body up and he drags her to the basement to try and bury her inside the wall.
Yeah. He fills it in cement and powder.
So yeah, he's about to fill it in, but he gets a phone call, doesn't he, of his wife. Yeah. And he leaves the room.
Goes upstairs, has a meltdown because he's now dealing with the fact, dog's dead, I've just killed someone, now I've got the wife on the phone, so he's overreacting. Dog to his wife, like, just leave me the fuck alone while I'm trying to do this. And then we get the horror element.
Oh yeah, we goes back down and there's just little footsteps gone. Like she's out of the fucking wall. Like, but like just I don't think we mentioned like before this, we see a little image of the what would you call it? Like
the thing that's running around the house.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah. And then at first we thought, I think it was, yeah. And then at first we thought it was we thought Sarah was alive, didn't we? And I thought Sarah was taking care of this fucking Emily or whatever. What did you think at first? Like
at first, I thought the same as you. Like Emily, this thing is a spirit that resides in the house, and Sarah is a real person that like caretaker for the house, like family line.
But eventually we find out they're both the same person, and she's basically it's like a spirit, really, like
It's like this is what? No, it's not the same person, is it?
No, I thought Sarah was her, but she was like the thing we're seeing is when she was a kid, wasn't she?
Oh right, because I thought personally Sarah was just a prostitute who had passed in the building, but Emily was the spirit of that little girl.
It might have been. I took it as like they were both the same person, but obviously if like she's coming across as Emily, no one's gonna want to sleep with her or anything, so she like puts on the you know, because we see her at the end, don't we? She wears Dan's skin, doesn't she? And then she comes out of it.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that was like, you know, something to trick people into. But either way, yeah, basically like, at first, like it's complete supernatural. Like at first we figured, oh, she's just a caretaker or something, but like she comes back to life after fucking Dan smacks her over the head with a hammer.
Smacks the life out of her. Like you hear a thud.
And then there's also the marbles that we hadn't mentioned, have we? Like there's always marbles, like.
Yeah, because the one scene where we see Emily as a child, she was playing with marbles. which I felt was a bit weak, honestly. Like, just the reason to give her a gimmick was, oh, as a child she liked marbles.
Yeah, true. It
That
was a
was
bit
weak
weak.
for me.
That's another thing that's weak about. They do over-explain it, don't they? Towards the end, like, so like we'll skip ahead a bit. Like Punk's wife comes to the house to check up on him, and because he's been gone for a bit, and then like, don't the pasture come over and they sit on the front step, don't they? And they talk a bit.
Yeah.
And she tells her about the house.
Yeah. Was that before she went in the house for the first time, or that's when she came out?
I think she went inside the house, and then we seen Sarah in there. But before Sarah did something, she heard the knock at the door, didn't she? So she went outside.
Yeah, she had a quick through the pasture.
Yeah, so she warns her about the house and stuff like that. But then I forgot. She goes to the church or the pastor's house, and when she comes back, the lights are on, aren't they, inside the house? And she walks in, and it's like a party or some shit.
Yeah, she originally gets out because she hears noises. She's like, I can't find Dawn. I'm leaving. So she goes out, goes to the pasture. She's like, look, I need help. So they have another talk, and she goes, look, that house is evil. You need to figure out why. And then once you figured out, everything will be fine. So she goes back in, and she's immediately interrupted. Well, walks in front by gentlemen in suits, obviously showing a repeat of what's happened in the past. She follows it all the way around. She finds the main bedroom. She's knocking on the door. Don, where are you, bro? And then she gets told to go up to the balcony and watch, which is where you get our first backstory of Sarah. Her only real backstory. She was a prostitute.
Yeah, true. And she's getting whipped and stuff, and we see the what's that guy wearing the mask?
He's wearing a plague doctor's mask because it was
that's it, and he's shirtless, isn't he? But he's got like the plague doctor's mask.
I thought that was Punk, but with his tattoos hidden. Like, it's not meant to be Dan, but it's Dan's voice because he goes upstairs after whipping her because his wife was upstairs watching the events, and when she's upstairs, the plague mask guy walks over, puts his hand on Emily's back, and it sounds like Punk.
It definitely sounds like Punk.
So I think they were using him in that regards. Like evil,
like history repeating itself and stuff like that. Yeah. So the end is
a bit rough,
yeah.
When she comes back downstairs after seeing all this, she's breaking into the room. She gets in and she hears marbles in the little bedroom side cupboard. Out comes Dan, slashed, absolutely butchered. He's like, I'm sorry, baby, I can apologise. She's like, no, you're an asshole, you cheated. You've done this to yourself. Rips off his own skin. Sarah's hiding in her. So she gets out of the house. And then it's weird. She goes back to the pasture again, talks to her, and then just walks back into the house, finds Emily's body, buries her, gives her a ceremony, then the house is cleansed.
Oh yeah, because we get that twist, don't we, where the pasture's like sort of like a guardian or like
where Sarah represented the evil of the house, the repeat of horror, with Emily's spirit being like the attacker. The pasture was like meant to be a good spirit. That was like, don't go in the house, it's bad. Come in the walls.
It's like a balance thing in it, where she's like, oh, the house, because the church is right across the road from the house, so it's like heaven and hell in a way. Like, she's like, it's balance, and people go in and they get tested, and if they fall to temptation, they die, which is what Dan did, obviously.
Instantly. Second night. But yeah, she moves into the house, which I thought was weird, and she's had a baby, bounced a little baby girl, and then we get the twist at the end. Punk's alive.
Punk's alive. Is he bald? Like, now I remember it, like, he doesn't have any eye. He looks completely bald. Like, he has no eyebrows. He has no hair. And he's inside the vent looking down. He's like, that's my little girl or something. Yeah.
Which is penance. Must be penance. Shave him for penance.
So, overall thoughts. What do you think about the film, Nathan?
Again, I thought it was decent. I'm not going to say it's like the hidden classics. I'd give it a solid 6.5 out of 10.
Give it a 6 out of 10 as well. It was decent. I was expecting worse, to be honest, but it was actually pretty good. Like, obviously, it's not like, like, oh my god, this twist, I never saw it coming, but it was, it was good.
You could rewatch it, you could never watch it again, but I'd say it's worth a watch.
And Punk did good.
Amazing work. God's work he did.
Obviously, he won't be on the level of Batista or Cena or The Rock, but I don't think he wants to be. Like, he just wants to, do stuff he's interested in, really, I guess.
And it was an interesting film. I think he did great. Everyone did great.
Just wonder if, like, do you think they casted him just for that reason, like, because they thought people would come in and love him, and then, like, let's make him like a dickhead so people feel conflicted. You know what I mean?
I reckon that was an element, but I don't think that was the main element.
Yeah, I don't think that's me.
I reckon
Maybe it depends if the like script and everything was written before he got Punk on board. Maybe, but if they wrote it intentionally, then who
I reckon
knows?
it might have just been stars aligned, like, yo, we've got this rollout. Punk probably saw it and thought, oh, that's a cool thing. I'll throw my hat in. And they just picked up Punk for it.
Mhm.
I thought it worked, bro, perfectly.
Make sure you check out Nathan's social links inside the description down below. Click like and subscribe if you're new. Until next time, peace out in a bit.